حسين 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 يا 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 حسين.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Welcome all of you, dear brothers and sisters, into the 12th episode of the story of Karbala. We left the family of Imam Hussain on that night, very frightened, nothing to protect them. All the camp was burned and guarded by the enemy soldiers. On the next day, the 11th, Ibn Sa'd decided to move out of Karbala. So he asked all the tribes to take the heads and move out of Karbala. So each tribe took their heads with them. When they tried to get the family of the Prophet, the family of Imam Hussain, on the camels, the camels has no cover, nothing to help them to be relaxed or easy on them during the trip, which was a little bit longer trip in very hot weather and was not convenient. And also their families all have been killed. The soldiers of the army has been buried, but the bodies of Imam Hussain and his family and his Ansar was left over the ground with no bury at all. When they tried to get them to ride, Zainab, peace be upon her, started helping the children, the ladies, to ride on the camels. Then she only left herself with Imam Zain al-Abidin. So it's either Zainab will get Imam Zain al-Abidin on the top of the camel, and he was very sick, or she will ride and he will manage himself. And it was very tough. Imam Zain al-Abidin was very sick, but he was so feeling about that somebody is touching or helping his auntie to ride the camel. So he asked her, "Auntie, I will bend and ride on me and then jump on the camel." When she tried to go over him to jump on the camel, he was so sick, he fall on his face. And the second time the same thing. She felt so sorry for him. But finally she was in the camel. Then when he tried to be in the camel, he could not. The soldier put him in the camel. He was so sick. After they put him in the camel, he fall from the other side. Then they put him on the camel again. He fall from the other side. Then every time they put him, he could not hold himself on the camel. The soldiers went to Umar ibn Sa'd, told him, "What shall we do with Zain al-Abidin?" He told them, "Put a rope under the camel and tie him to the camel." So this what they have done to Imam Zain al-Abidin. And then on their way out of Karbala, instead of just taking any road, they passed them through the battlefield. So they happened and was meant for them to see the dead bodies of their beloved. When they passed, Zainab felt so sad and depressed, and she started crying, and she was about to throw herself on body of her brother Imam Hussain. Imam Zain al-Abidin told her, "Auntie, please be mercy to me. If you throw yourself, who's going to get you back onto the back of the camel. I cannot do it. So she held herself. They were crying. Small children, very thirsty, hungry. They have been in very feared situation, frightened, and crying. Every time anybody cried, he will be punished and hit. And this has happened all the way along to Al-Kufa. Not only this, when they were about to enter to Al-Kufa, they gathered the people to see them. When they first came in, everybody was gathering in the street to see the people who were against the Khalifa. When they first arrived, the train of the camels stopped. And then Zainab pointed to them to come down, and she started talking to them. Told them, whatever you have done was so bad. She gave very good speech, explaining what they have done, that they killed the representative of the Prophet on the earth. They have done something so evil that they will not be able throughout history to erase the result of this situation and this mistake. People started crying, and they says, we will be helpful for you. Imam Zain al-Abidin didn't start his speech, and he told them, I would like to give you an advice. They thought that he's asking them to help and to be against Yazid. And they told him, we will be with you against Yazid and we'll fight with you. He told them, don't fool me. You already did this to my father, and you left him alone until he was killed with his family and his Ansar, and you did not help at all. And now you are coming to me telling me that you are going to help. I'm not asking you this, but I'm asking you not to be with us, not to be with Yazid. We accept that you will be with no one of us. And then the other daughters of Imam Hussain, they start giving speeches. They took them then, and they get them in front of the palace of Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad. And then they allow them to come into the big hall. Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad was sitting there, and all the people around him sitting, all the men. And they are entering the family of the Prophet to that hall. When they came in, Zainab was hiding herself between the other ladies and her maids. And then when Ibn Ziyad saw Zain al-Abidin, he thought, who is this? They told him, this is Ali ibn Hussain. And he replied, but wasn't Allah killed Ali ibn al-Hussain, which was the other one? Imam Zain al-Abidin said, I used to have a brother called Ali, has been killed by the people. He says, no, Allah killed him. Ibn Ziyad was saying, Imam Zain al-Abidin replied, Allah يتوفى الأنفس حين موتها والتي لم تمت في منامها. That Allah is the one who's responsible for death for everybody who did not die during their sleep. And Ibn Ziyad says, you have the courage to reply to me and to answer me? Take him and cut off his head. Then Zainab threw herself for the second time on Imam Zain al-Abidin, and she said, if you want to kill him, you kill me before him. It was enough what you have killed from us. Zainab was doing this to protect not her nephew, but her Imam. And then he was asking, who's this lady? And he was being told, this is Zainab. And he says, you are the daughter of Ali? I am very pleased that Allah killed your brother and his family. She says, yes, Allah was take them to him, but later on the judgment day, You will face them, and you will see who will win on that time. Ibn Ziyad was so angry. He took a stick and trying to hit her. And people told him, this is not acceptable that you as a governor hitting a woman. And then he asked them and sent them to his prison just beside the palace, and give his order, and giving the head of Imam Hussain with two of his people sent to Yazid with a letter explaining what happened, waiting for the reply of Yazid orders regarding what he should do with the family of Imam Hussain. Zainab, when she was in the prison, it was very bad situation. She was so depressed and in a very bad situation that she asked, no Arabic lady should come to visit us. Only slaves should come, because they have been through the same situation. This is what happened on that situation, on that day. Ibn Ziyad was not happy enough just only by killing Imam Hussain, but he also took the family as prisoners, which is mostly were ladies, children, and the only man was Imam Zain al-Abidin with them, who was very, very sick, could not even move for himself. Moreover, he was having steel bars all around his neck, his hands, and also his legs, that whenever he moved, they were having sharp ends toward his neck. Every time he moved his neck to any direction, then this pointed sharp ends will go into his neck, and he will start bleeding. This is how mercy that Ibn Ziyad treated the family of the Prophet. You can see how the prisoners of wars will be treated anywhere in the world, and how Ibn Ziyad and Yazid, who gave him the orders, how did they treat this family, who were the family of the founder of Islam, the one who established Islam, the one who established the country that Yazid is trying to rule. This is the situation where we end, because the people did not recognize what's happening. They refused, and they did not provide the help for Imam Hussain. And the help was not really for Imam Hussain per se. The help was for them to get out of this cave, out of this small prison that Yazid is trying to put them in, to be free in their religion, in their money, free in their minds. They can think freely, they can do whatever they want with their monies, and they can be very safe all over the place, and they can pray to God without any fear. This did not happen, and anybody was disobeying Yazid, the end was death. This is how is the situation happening in that days. This why the philosophy of Imam Hussain. It is not that he was dying because he wanted to be the ruler. If he wanted to be the ruler, he could easily be the ruler. Why he should take his family, and he knows what's going on. But what happened, Zainab, what she did, her speech in front of Al-Kufa people, her speech in the hall of Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad in his palace, her speech in the prison, her speech in front of the army during 10th of Ashura, after the death and killing of Imam Hussain, her speech and talk during the night after Ashura, all of this made her the first partner with Imam Hussain in carrying out this revolution. This move, this revolution, was constituting of two main parts. The first part that Imam Hussain did, opposing Yazid and stopping him and showing him his limit, and trying to make an earthquake, shaking the whole nation, shaking their minds, shaking their hearts, to be awake and aware about their religion, and to say no to the one who's evil, and to say yes to the one who's good and Muslims. And this move would be killed and buried on its place, if there is no voice, will carry it out to the Muslims and carry it out through the time and places. And that other part, the voice of this revolution, of this move, was Zainab. Because she's a lady, it was very shameful for anybody to kill her. It was shameful in the Arab history and literature that they will kill women. So that's why Imam Hussain, knowing the whole situation, he did this. Some people says how he exposed himself and his family to such a thing, that they would not accept anybody to look to their sister, yet he's exposing her to this bad situation. Why is this? Because they want to protect Islam, and Islam will come on top of anything else. Allah will come on top of anything. Allah Akbar, and more important than anything else in the world. And that's why Imam Hussain used all of he has, himself, his family, his sister, his Ansar, his brothers, his children, in order to get this message that he tried to carry out through the earthquake that he made, that it has to reach its limits throughout time, history, and place. And the one who carried this vibration of the move was Zainab. She was the voice of Karbala, and she did it in the perfect way. She talked in Al-Kufa, in Karbala, in the way to Al-Kufa, on the way to Asham, in Damascus, and also on the way back, and also in Medina. She did all of this to the extent that the next governor of Medina, who came later on, Amr ibn Sa'id al-Ashdaq, he sent a letter to Yazid. If you want to continue ruling Medina, you should get Zainab out of it, because she's getting people against you. And he gave her his order to get her out of Medina. And this is what we are having. If Imam Hussain was the heart beating, carrying the move of Karbala, Zainab was the voice who carried this move toward us, and we continue to have this move coming to us through that route. I will see you then in the next episode of the story of Karbala.